The movie opens up with true crime podcasters, Aaron Corey and Diana Haynes being led inside Smith's Grove Psychiatric Hospital. There, they meet serial killer Michael Myers, who has spent the last 40 years inside the psychiatric hospital after his killing spree in 1978. As soon as he meets Michael, Aaron pulls out the mask that he had used when committing the murders. He tries to get a reaction out of Michael to see if everything that had been said about him was true or not. However, he does not respond and continues to ignore them until it is time for them to leave. The two of them then head to Laurie Strode's house. Laurie was the only survivor of Michael's killing spree. They arrive at her heavily guarded house and offer her $3,000 for sitting down for an interview with them. Laurie had locked herself inside an impenetrable fortress and had relentlessly trained in case Michael showed up again. Aaron breaks the news about Michael being transferred to a maximum security prison the next day. He then asks her if Laurie ever got custody of her daughter again. This seems to hit a sore spot for her and she throws the two of them out, refusing to continue with the interview. The scene then cuts to Laurie's daughter Karen, who is now married. Karen's daughter Allison asks her if she had invited Laurie to dinner later that night. Karen lies and tells her that she did. Allison leaves for school, knowing that her mother had not invited Laurie. She decides to call Laurie and invites her for dinner later that day. At school, she reminds her boyfriend about dinner with her parents before heading to class. While in class, she notices Laurie standing outside, watching her. After class, Laurie hands Allison the money she had taken from the podcasters and tells her to use it for whatever she likes. Allison begs her grandmother to move on from Michael and not let him destroy her family again. Laurie does not reply and heads back home where she practices her shooting. Meanwhile, inside a motel room, Aaron and Diana go through the tapes of Michael's psychiatrist. His psychiatrist tells the interviewer that Michael needs to die because of how evil he is. At the same time, Michael along with other criminals at the hospital are prepared for their transfer to the prison. Laurie hides in the parking lot of the hospital and watches while he is escorted inside a van. She drinks excessively to deal with her anxiety about him leaving the facility. Then, she heads to the restaurant to meet with Karen and the rest of the family. As soon as she gets there, she starts drinking and crying. She tells them that she saw Michael and wanted to kill him. When Karen reminds her that she had promised to move on from Michael, she gets up and leaves. Karen tells Allison that her mother had made her learn how to shoot when she was 8. She had also trained her to set up traps and keep an eye out for Michael, until social services had shown up and took her away. Elsewhere, a father and son duo make their way down the highway when they notice an overturned bus. The father stops the car and goes out to see if anyone needs help. When the boy's father does not return, he calls 911 and gets out of the car to search for him. An officer who had been attacked urges him to run away, but the boy does not listen to him. He then goes inside the bus but gets startled when Michael's psychiatrist gets out of his hiding place. He accidentally shoots the psychiatrist and runs back to the car. As soon as he gets in the car, Michael, who had been hiding in the back seat, jumps out and kills him. An officer overhears about the accident on his radio and offers to check out the scene. He finds dead bodies all over the place and calls for assistance. Then he checks out the bus and finds the psychiatrist, Dr. Sartain, who had managed to survive despite the gunshot. Dr. Sartain asks the officer if he had escaped, before losing consciousness. The next day, on the morning of October 31st, Aaron and Diana make their way to Michael's sister's grave. Aaron tells their audience that Michael had stabbed his sister to death, making her his first victim. He continues talking to the audience, unaware that Michael was watching them from afar. Meanwhile, Sheriff Barker makes his way to the hospital to check on Dr. Sartain, who had still not regained consciousness. The officer on duty informs the sheriff that all the offenders on the bus had committed minor offenses except for Michael Myers. He explains that Michael was responsible for several murders 40 years ago. The sheriff does not take the threat seriously and brushes off the fact that they can't cancel Halloween in order to keep everyone safe from him. At the same time, Aaron and Diana stop at a gas station where Diana goes inside the bathroom. While inside, she notices that a man had entered the bathroom as well. He gets inside the stall next to her and suddenly grabs her legs from underneath the door. She tries to fight him off while screaming for help. Outside, Aaron realizes that Diana had been gone for a while and goes to check on her. He discovers a dead mechanic with his overalls missing. He rushes towards the bathroom and finds Michael inside. He grabs a pipe and goes to hit him, but Michael overpowers him and kills both him and Diana. He then heads outside and grabs his mask from Aaron's backpack before making his way to Laurie's hometown, Haddonfield. Laurie, on the other hand, overhears the news that Michael had escaped. She immediately jumps into action and starts preparing herself for his arrival. During this, Karen gets home and finds her mother inside. Laurie tells her that her house is unsafe and insists that she and Allison hide with her. Tired of her mother's episodes, Karen throws Laurie out of her house and tells her to get help. Meanwhile, Officer Frank Hawkins discovers the bodies of the two podcasters. He spots Laurie among the crowd that had gathered near the gas station. He then tells the sheriff that he had been there when Michael had gotten arrested for his murders, and now it is his responsibility to catch him again. With Halloween night in full swing, Michael comes out of hiding and goes searching for weapons. He finds a hammer and breaks into someone's house before killing her. Then, he exits the house and goes on to kill another woman. At the same time, Allison and her boyfriend dressed as Bonnie and Clyde attend a Halloween party. Allison's friend, Vicky, who was babysitting a boy named Julian, puts him to bed before heading down. Back at the party, Allison notices her boyfriend kissing another girl. She leaves the party and her boyfriend follows her. When she refuses to listen to his excuses, he takes her phone and throws it away. Upset, Allison breaks up with him and leaves. Vicky, who had been cleaning the kitchen, is surprised by her boyfriend. They start kissing while they wait for Allison and her boyfriend to arrive. All of a sudden, she hears a thud upstairs and asks her boyfriend to check it out. Just then, Julian comes down the staircase and tells them that he had seen someone standing outside his room. Although the two of them don't believe him, but Vicky's boyfriend offers to check the house for any intruders. Vicky then tucks Julian into bed again when he asks her to shut his closet door. She goes to shut it, but when it doesn't fully shut, she opens the door and finds Michael hiding inside. He stabs her to death, but Julian manages to escape. Elsewhere, Officer Hawkins and Laurie hear about the murders on the police radio and both of them decide to check the crime scenes. Officer Hawkins gets to Julian's house first, where he discovers that both Vicky and her boyfriend had been killed. Just as Laurie gets to the crime scene, she notices Michael standing in the window, in the room next to the one Officer Hawkins was in. She fires but ends up shooting at his reflection, giving Michael the chance to escape. Later that night, the sheriff and Dr. Sartain arrive at the crime scene. He tells everyone that Michael is extremely dangerous and will continue killing people until he is caught. On the other end of the town, Allison and her friend Oscar make their way home when he tries to kiss her. She gets mad and leaves him behind before walking away. This is when he notices Michael holding a knife. He starts screaming and tries to leave, but Michael manages to catch him and kills him. Hearing his screams, Allison heads back to the house and finds her friend dead. Just then Michael shows up and starts chasing her. She rushes to find help and the neighbors call for help. Officer Hawkins comes to get Allison and takes her to Laurie's house. Meanwhile, Laurie takes Karen and her husband to her home and makes them hide in the basement. In Officer Hawkins' patrol car, Dr. Sartain tells Allison to keep an eye out for Michael. As soon as she spots him, Officer Hawkins crashes his car into Michael, knocking him out. He gets out of the car along with Dr. Sartain. When he is about to shoot, the doctor stabs him to death. He places Michael's body next to Allison and starts driving. He tells her that he had helped Michael escape because he had wanted to study him in the wild. Allison lies and tells him that Michael had talked to her. Since Michael had never talked to anyone, Dr. Sartain stops the car and starts questioning Allison about it. She notices Michael moving, and before she has a chance to warn the doctor, he kicks down the partition and kills him. This gives Allison a chance to escape. Michael takes the patrol car and heads to Laurie's house, where he kills Karen's husband. He then breaks through the front door and tries to strangle Laurie, but she manages to shoot his fingers off. She enters the basement along with Karen and waits for Michael to attack them. As he moves above them, Laurie opens the basement door and gets out to kill Michael. She begins searching for him and enters a room when he comes out of hiding and attacks her. She tries to fight back, but he overpowers her and throws her off the balcony. Just then, Allison enters the house and starts calling for Karen. Hearing her daughter, Karen comes out of the basement and takes Allison down with her. She takes her rifle and prepares for Michael to enter. As soon as he opens the trap door, Karen shoots him in the jaw. Laurie appears behind him and stabs him, causing him to fall into the basement. She pulls Allison out of the basement along with Karen, but as Karen is climbing out, Michael gets a hold of her leg and starts pulling her down. Feeling helpless, Allison grabs a knife and cuts off his arm. With her daughter out of danger's way, Laurie pulls a lever to activate a trap. This causes Michael to get stuck in the basement. She then pulls at another lever, causing gas to leak into the basement. The movie ends with Laurie lighting her house on fire before escaping with her family. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.